Moving on towards our next keynote presentation, which I'm sure many of our participants are waiting for, is by Ms. Amy Hedrick, Chief Executive Officer, CLEANBOX Technology. And her keynote speech is on health and safety protocol in an immersive technology world case studies from healthcare to education to enterprise. Amy is the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of CLEANBOX Technology. Her strategy for building a thriving business by solving a real-world problem and her vision for creating a global impact brand with the reach across multiple industries has grown the company from an idea to a multi-million-dollar global business in 3 years. Ms. Hedrick's execution of the company's vision has established CLEANBOX as a brand trusted by its many Fortune clients. Amy is a thought leader in the applications of immersive technology as industry disruptors and brings innovation ideas and new market opportunities to CLEANBOX smart tech hygiene product lines. She has led multiple teams from project inception and funding to planning and execution, thus making herself an effective leader in multiple industries over the past decade. I'd now like to welcome Amy, and Amy, the stage is all yours.
Hi, I'm Amy Hedrick. I'm the CEO and founder of CLEANBOX Technology. CLEANBOX is a premium smart tech hygiene company specializing in UVC surface decontamination. We have clients around the world, and we are a first to market company in the XR space. It's my pleasure to be with all of you today. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to sharing with you a few of the use cases in the various industries in which we work that I think you will find very applicable to your particular verticals today. Give me 1 second while I share my screen with you. So again, we are a smart tech hygiene company. We specialize in UVC surface decontamination. We are based in the United States, but we have clients in countries all around the world, in about 50 countries currently. Because we're a first to market company in the immersive technology space, we've had the privilege of working with industries from manufacturing to education to healthcare, entertainment, government, and beyond. And what I have found over the last few years of working in these spaces, that a number of the use cases have very, very practical applications that I find relevant across industries. So I'd love to share with a few of those with you guys today. But to begin, I'd like to just tell you a few things about the basic science and technology behind what we do. Just a couple of minutes to help you understand the value proposition of CLEANBOX products. So UVC, which UV light, has become much more familiar of a terminology since COVID-19. We've all become a bit more aware of the contagions around us and some of the ways of best protecting both ourselves as well as our businesses. But to put it simply, UVC is a wavelength of light that's filtered out by the Earth's atmosphere. Now, the reason this matters to us today is because really what that means is that common contagions, viruses, and bacteria found on Earth don't have a built-up resistance to it because they have not been exposed to it. So what UVC does when it is exposed, or when contagions are exposed to UVC light, is that UVC disrupts their DNA and RNA strands. That renders them unable to replicate. And not to be too techy or too much in the weeds on the science and technology behind it, but basically it means that you're effectively killing those contagions. You're not allowing them to spread from one person or one surface to another. And that is very, very important, of course, in the use of immersive technology. All of us are here because we value the use of virtual and augmented and mixed reality for our business purposes, and we want to know the best way to roll out our strategy and our programs safely and repeatably. So let me share a few more tidbits of this technology and our use cases with you. As business leaders, we are, of course, already hyper aware of the importance of risk mitigation in our business programs. But of course, COVID-19 has made that very much front and center of our business strategy. So we have to think about health and safety front of mind, and especially when it comes to the use of hardware, anything that's frequently touched, frequently used, or often shared. Now, how, when, where, and how UVC decontaminates, I will not go into all of the specifics on this, but I'm very, very happy to make this more technical and scientific information aware. For those of you who are interested, my contact information will be available at the end of the session, and I'm more than happy to share collaborative white paper that we have produced, as well as any kind of technical or laboratory information any of you might be interested in learning about. I will mention that the use of UVC light is not all the same. So if you want effective use of a UVC product, you need to take a number of factors into consideration, which include any of these that you see on my screen right now. CLEANBOX products all have proprietary engineering in place that takes into consideration each of these important factors for effective decontamination. We have 3 product lines. We specialize, of course, in surface decontamination, and our first to market company in decontamination for HMD, so cleaning of headsets of any kind, virtual, augmented, mixed reality headsets. We also have other products that we'd be more than happy to talk to you about, but our key components are 60-second cycles that reach the highest level of decontamination. They're easy to use. They remove that element of human error that is intrinsic to manual cleaning, and that they're safe and consistent results. So talking about some of the best practices for the deployment and scaling of XR programs, of course, the ABCs of strategy and the 1, 2, 3s of deployment. Some of these are very basic concepts, but we do find it's fairly consistent, that it's easy to miss some of the critical things. So I'll just, if you don't mind, go over a couple of these things with you right now before sharing some of those case studies that are important. Of course, defining your goals. So businesses have different reasons for using immersive technology. Some of them are just simply to stay on the cutting edge of technology. Sometimes the use of virtual or augmented reality can be based on the goal of, am I sharing remote expertise? Do I have a training program that I'm looking to implement across my business around the world? Am I looking for basic global corporate buy-in, or maybe my goal is cost reduction? It is critically important for the success of your program that you define your goals at the very beginning of that program. What is your total value proposition? And when you understand your total value proposition, you will be able to decide what tech serves your need. You need to look at hardware, software, and ongoing support when you consider that. You also need to look at your audience and user base. Is your focus in mission-focused content? Do you need to consider various languages and cultural differences in your internal audience? What are the technical skill ranges of the people that you are asking to use your product? And again, you can read through the rest of this page. Your value proposition, I would say though, it needs to be reliable, repeatable, and re-educational. And by re-educational, I really mean that you're taking a concept that your audience has looked at before, and you are talking about, how do I make this better? What are the pain points in the current way that we are educational about this? And how can I reduce those pain points and make it easier? And then, of course, the scalability. What is the scope of onboarding? How many people are going to need to understand whatever your use case is for your virtual or augmented reality program? Time requirements, location, and cross-cultural impact. The 1, 2, 3s of deployment. Now, coming back to your target users, what is your plan to educate them on how to use this headset? Are you using VR? So does your audience, whether that's internal or external, do they know how to use it? Do you have a training program in place to show them how to use it? Because again, your goal is to take this program that you have in place and make sure that it is successful and broadly received. And then, of course, you have to know who's going to write the check to support this program. It is all connected. Everything from your infrastructure, your headsets, your software, your rollout, to your training, your hygiene, safety, logistics, your operational planning, and the simplicity of your rollout. Everything is connected from A to Z. One thing I like to remind people of is the idea of tech as a second skin. Now you have, if you're an XR, you already understand the concept of putting an HMD, a head-mounted display, on your head and face. So you understand that that's going to be an important part of your rollout. But what you need to keep in mind is that maybe the people that you're speaking with or that you're engaging with, they might not have the same experience. And if they don't like it the first time, if they don't want to keep doing it, they won't want to do it again. And one of the most important things about your XR program is that it is re-engagement. You must engage your end user and you must re-engage them. That means that they want to do it again. And if they don't feel that that technology has become a second skin, if it's not comfortable, if it doesn't feel like something that they want to do again, they won't do it again. And that means that your program will ultimately not be as successful as you hope it will be. So the 10-minute live it is something that I've coined because I really think it's important. If you don't want to keep that headset on, if you don't want to continue in that software program, in that VR or AR experience for 10 minutes at least, you won't want to do it again. And so when it comes down to, again, full circle for your logistics rollout, the comfort and the comfortability of that process is critically important to success of your program. Now, because of that, of course, CLEANBOX technology is a small part of that logistics and operations component of a successful XR rollout. And that comes, of course, to the comfortability. Is this clean? Is it safe? Is it sweaty? Is it dry? Has it been taken care of? Am I comfortable wearing this? And that is an important part of all of our clients' programs. And because we work in so many spaces, I thought it would be really interesting to all of you to see some of those use case studies, which I'll walk you through from healthcare to retail. So Hoag Hospital is a hospital system in Newport Beach, California, in the United States. They have 30,000 plus inpatients, 480,000 outpatients annually. They have had an XR program in place for a number of years. One of them really exciting things that I love to share with customers and with other users is the fact that they use CLEANBOX technology to keep that VR program in place during the height of COVID outbreak when everything was shut down. They were able to continue because they had CLEANBOX in place. That is one of the critical components of this healthcare study. A number of other use cases, New York City Health and Hospitals. There's a simulation center that has been able to keep their programs running and they use VR for enhancing teamwork and clinical skills. European Sperm Bank uses virtual reality for research, which they have indicated has a direct ROI on their donation quantities. And of course, that rolls into their finances and their return on investment. Montefiore Medical Center uses VR for patient experience, providing travel experiences for children with cancer. Moving on to other non-healthcare related XR programs, Toyota Manufacturing of Canada uses some of our CLEANBOX units for cleaning accessories for respirator testing. So they do respirator testing and XR programs there. Hinton Scaffold is a completely different type of client that of course uses it for scaffolding training. So this is very much a hands-on labor intensive process and training program that has been integrating virtual reality to do it in a very different way. CLEANBOX also has clients in the med device, biometric space and pharma space. So we have some other anonymous customers that use our products for breathing device cleaning. Parker Seminars uses our products for their training programs. They host 430 plus seminars globally for chiropractic training for doctors and assistants. And so these are some of the use cases for our customers. Our products from healthcare to enterprise to automotive and manufacturing. And so I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. What I have found, and just to leave you on this note, is that when it comes to operations and logistics, the same problems are there for healthcare as there are for retail, as there is for other type of enterprise applications. What it really comes down to for a successful program, no matter what your use case is that you've thought your deployment process through as well as your logistics process, and you've been able to come up with a program that you have solid benchmarks that you can measure against and watch your success stories. Again, my name is Amy Hedrick. I'm the CEO and founder of CleanBox Technology. My information is here. I'm more than happy to answer any kind of technical or other questions, and I look forward to hearing back from you. Please do reach out. Thank you again for your time today.
Thank you, Amy, for your insights, and the presentation was very informative. I'm sure our dear participants have got a lot of information from your keynote today. Thank you for joining us once again.